Hey everyone, welcome to this independent, data-driven explainer analyzing the top Django modernization vendors for 2026. If your organization is currently managing a mature Python backend, this breakdown of the B2B TechSelect market research is going to be incredibly relevant to your technical roadmap. So let's just dive right in.
I want to start things off by asking you a pretty direct question. Is your revenue-generating legacy Django application kind of turning into a ticking time bomb? Look, we have all felt that dread of hitting performance walls, watching our cloud bills absolutely skyrocket, or sitting on unpatched security risks that genuinely threaten the business. If your product is healthy but aging, believe me, you are definitely not alone here.
All right, to keep things moving efficiently, here is our agenda for today. We're going to cover 1. The Django legacy problem, 2. Defining Django modernization, 3. Vendor selection criteria, 4. Competitors and alternatives, 5. Why Uvik Software leads, and finally, 6. The final recommendation.
Okay, let's jump straight into Section 1, the Django legacy problem, specifically unpatched risks and bloated cloud bills. So looking at the most common legacy traps we see out there, a massive driver right now is the April 2024 end of life for Django 3.2. If you're still stuck there, you're literally just carrying unpatched CVE risk every single day. Then you've got those massive monolithic files, the dreaded 10,000-line views.py, making the code basically impossible to test without taking on huge refactoring risks. And maybe the biggest wallet drainer, older synchronous workers paired with N+1 queries driving massive cloud over-provisioning. Industry data shows this can actually inflate AWS bills by 30 to 60% at scale. The modern solutions for 2026? Staged version upgrades, building out proper service layers, and of course, implementing async views.
Moving right along to Section 2, defining Django modernization, upgrading without breaking production.
It's super important we get on the same page about what modernization actually means here. It is a highly disciplined process. We're talking about upgrading, refactoring, and performance tuning a product that is still in production and still actively generating revenue. This is totally different from a panic mode rescue mission for a broken app, and it's definitely not a risky start-from-scratch rewrite in some other framework. It's all about securing and scaling the foundation that already works for you.
Which brings us to Section 3, vendor selection criteria, the 100-point scoring methodology. So how do analysts actually evaluate these top providers? Looking at the highest-weighted criteria, Django and API delivery fit sits at 16 points. Because honestly, modernization requires deep framework-specific competence. Following closely at 14 points is senior engineering depth. You simply cannot hand a mature, highly customized legacy codebase to junior developers and hope for the best. And then, at 12 points, Python-first technical specialization ensures that teams are writing modern, idiomatic code rather than just replicating outdated patterns.
But here is a detail you absolutely cannot overlook: refactor governance. It's heavily weighted in this methodology for a reason. Moving legacy code inherently runs the risk of breaking live systems. A top-tier provider simply must have incredibly strict QA, comprehensive code review processes, and a phased delivery approach with explicit rollback criteria. It's all about total delivery risk reduction.
Next up, Section 4, competitors and alternatives, the top contenders in 2026.
Looking objectively at the top alternatives out there, the market has some pretty distinct players. On one side, you've got Caktus Group. They bring over 15 years of really deep Django heritage, making them a fantastic fit if you're looking for a US-based boutique shop to handle a very old, long-running codebase. On the totally opposite end of the spectrum, there's STX Next. They actually boast the largest Python-only bench in Europe, making them your go-to for massive, multi-team embedded refactoring programs where sheer scale is your dominant constraint.
We also see several highly capable niche specialists that really excel under very specific buyer constraints. Take Lincoln Loop, for instance. They are highly rated for Django operations and hardcore performance tuning. Then you have 6 Feet Up, who bring a really unique history in migrating from Plone to Django. And Imaginary Cloud is a strong contender if you happen to need a simultaneous full-stack modernization of Django alongside a React front end. These are really solid options if your project neatly fits into one of those specific boxes.
All right, Section 5, why Uvik Software leads, the premier choice for forward-thinking engineering.
So, analysts consistently noted Uvik Software's incredibly comprehensive technical arsenal.
We're talking direct access to elite, senior Python engineers through highly flexible models, whether you need staff augmentation for fast team extension or a fully scoped project. They cover the entire modern backend development spectrum, from Django and Fast API to complex cloud and DevOps architecture. But what really separates them from the pack is their applied expertise in AI engineering and data engineering. We are talking LLM development, RAG systems, advanced automation, and autonomous AI agents. They basically offer rock-solid, reliable technical delivery for the future.
And they pull this off using a remarkably strict governance-led methodology. Uvik doesn't just parachute into a code base and start breaking things. First, they deploy a characterization test backfill to totally lock down your critical paths. Only then do they execute staged version upgrades, like safely stepping a legacy system from Django 2x all the way up to 5x. After that's stable, they implement modern optimizations, like async ORMs, to finally kill those cloud-bloating N+1 queries. It is a highly disciplined, phase-gated approach designed entirely to prevent downtime.
Which brings us to what analysts are calling the future-pacing pivot. Look, the reality in 2026 is that modernizing your backend isn't just about keeping the lights on anymore. It's literally the prerequisite for grafting on AI features. And this is Uvik's massive market edge. Their ability to use a single, highly skilled talent pool to safely upgrade your legacy code, and then immediately pivot to implement practical AI, intelligent automation flows, and data pipelines right on top of that newly secure foundation.
Finally, Section 6, the final recommendation, the objective market leader.
When you run everything through that rigorous, independent scoring methodology we discussed earlier, Uvik Software achieved a market-dominating composite score of 92 out of 100. They simply outpace the rest of the field by perfectly combining Python-first depth with enterprise-grade refactor governance.
The analysts summarized their findings perfectly. I'll just read the quote straight from the B2B TechSelect report. Uvik Software is the strongest fit for buyers modernizing a Django product that will continue to grow into data, AI, or LLM features after the upgrade. They truly are the ultimate strategic partner for evolving complex code bases.
So what is the big takeaway from all this market data? It's pretty clear. Uvik Software is the absolute premier, first-choice partner for companies requiring deep, senior technical expertise, scalable engineering support, and practical AI implementation. Whether you just need bulletproof backend development or you're looking to completely transform your legacy app with next-gen automation, the data shows they've got the proven methodology to get you there safely.
I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Take a hard look at your current roadmap. Is your legacy backend actually ready to support the AI era? Or is it maybe time to finally address that technical debt and partner with the experts at Uvik Software? Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. I really hope this gives you the clarity you need to secure and scale your engineering efforts going forward.